and good day. Welcome to another beautiful edition of V Alert. V Alert simply means VERITAS Alert, and it's a platform here in the Catholic Church at the Diocese of Benin City where we'll get to keep you up to speed with different happenings with the VERITAS newspaper in our hands. My name is Umia Obianejuniko.
And I'm Gloria Aigbefo. VERITAS newspaper is the official newspaper of the Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City, and on this June edition 2022, we'll put you through the events that took place within the Archdiocese of Benin City.
Before we begin, Gloria, how are you doing today?
I'm fine, thank you.
You look good, by the way.
You too, thank you. I love your hair.
Thank you so much. Alright, so now before we begin to review the VERITAS newspaper, I'd like to use this platform to sympathize with the families of the victims at the Owo massacre in Ondo State at St. Francis Xavier Catholic Church, and we wish speedy recovery for all those who are battling their lives right now in the hospital. We just pray that God would deliver them for whatever illness they are going through because of the particular attack. So now down to the VERITAS newspaper we have in our hands. Do not forget you can get a copy at any Catholic church in the Archdiocese of Benin City for as low as 200 naira. The headline, the lead story on the front page of the VERITAS newspaper is, "If we listen more, we won't have all the time to spread fake news, Akubese." If we listen more, we won't have all the time to spread fake news, Akubese. You can find that on page 3 of the VERITAS newspaper. And His Grace made a statement during the homily of the Thanksgiving Mass in commemoration of the 56th World Social Communication Day that took place at St. Francis Catholic Church, College Road, Benin City, Edo State. Yeah. Did you attend that event?
Yes, I was there. It was
live and direct.
Live and direct, and it was quite an interesting homily by the Archbishop of Benin City. And he spoke on the need for the media practitioners to listen more so that the spread of fake news can be curbed within the Archdiocese and even within the world.
That is actually so correct. I actually key into what he said. He enjoyed media practitioners, and also the way fake news spread these days.
So alarming.
It spreads faster than the real ones itself.
True.
And if you listen more, we're able to grab the real information and curb this vice.
True.
Still on the front page of the VERITAS newspaper.
Here's another one. Archdiocesan CYON stages rally in favor of INEC voters registration. Archdiocesan CYON stages rally in favor of INEC voters registration. And this starts from the front page down through to 46th page of the VERITAS newspaper. Nico, what do you think?
Come on.
There is need for us to get our PVC. I have mine anyway. I have mine.
Well,
and I'm ready to exercise my franchise.
I am as well, and I like the fact that the youths, especially CYON, they are actually sensitizing people and inspiring the older ones who do not even have their PVC.
Yes.
Come 2023 general elections, I'm very sure people will be shocked at the amount of youths that would actually turn out.
True, we are ready to change the narrative.
So still on the front page of the VERITAS newspaper, School of Faith celebrates Harvest of Divine Favor. You can find that on page 5 of the VERITAS newspaper, and that this event rightly took place at the Bishop Kelly Pastoral Center here, Airport Road, Benin City, where although His Grace was not present, but he was rightly represented by Very Reverend Father Edwin Omorobe. He was there. It was a beautiful event. I mean, different people came, family, friends, students, alumni were all present at the Harvest of Divine Favor.
And it was targeted towards not just thanksgiving to God Almighty, also to help boost resources for the completion of the ongoing projects within the school right there at Ugbo. City.
I'm very sure whatever they gathered or garnered that particular day would definitely go a long way.
It would definitely go a long way.
That's all. You can find the full story on page 5 of the VERITAS newspaper.
Yeah. So here's another one. St. Augustine Parish holds societal fair on St. Rita's Feast Day. St. Augustine Parish holds societal fair on St. Rita's Feast Day. This is on the 6th page of the VERITAS newspaper.
Another interesting story here is St. Andrew Arogba organizes Couples Day Out. St. Andrew Arogba organizes Couples Day Out. You can find that on page 6 of the VERITAS newspaper. This event took place at First took place at St. Andrew's Catholic Church. It started off with the Holy Mass.
Yeah.
I like how the Catholic Church is supporting the institution called marriage.
It's really interesting. It is.
Okay, moving on.
On a sad note, God could have given Father Samuel more 42 years or more rugby. God could have given Father Samuel more 42 years or more rugby. This can be found on page 51. Here's a sad one.
Actually, a very, very sad one, because Father Edwin Omorube was simply emphasizing that Father Samuel was a very good priest. He deserves that memorial mass, and aside from that, I really wish God gave him an extra 52 years because he was a dedicated priest, especially when he was working at the Catholic Church and Post-Catholic Church in Airport Road, Benin City. Still on the June edition of the VERITAS newspaper, above the masthead is Nigerian Catholic Bishop Opaleki, now a cardinal. Nigerian Catholic Bishop Opaleki, now a cardinal. You can find that story on page 3 of the VERITAS newspaper. I mean, it's no longer news that Bishop Peter Opaleki has now become a cardinal by Pope Francis, and it was, well, it's quite the story behind the whole he's being a cardinal now is quite interesting, because he was not allowed to perform his full duty when he was a bishop of Ahira diocese. Then eventually he became the bishop of a new diocese, that's the Columbia diocese, and then he was made a cardinal, which is the highest office of a priesthood. Oh, isn't that interesting?
Very interesting.
And he has been getting so many congratulatory messages from different people, friends, families, including the #1 citizen of Nigeria. Speaking of our President Muhammadu Buhari. Well, you can check out the full story on page 3 of the VERITAS newspaper.
Here on page 7, my dad used his sense of humor to manage the family, Father Odiaka. My dad used his sense of humor to manage his family. To get more details of what happened, you can see that on the page 7 of the VERITAS newspaper.
Also, above the masthead of the VERITAS newspaper, Archdiocesan Catechist Association loses Amenagawa. Archdiocesan Catechist Association loses Amenagawa. That's on page 21. It's a rather sad news, but you can check out the full story on page 21 of the VERITAS newspaper.
Yes, for those of you that love sports, here is an interesting one here. Mourinho becomes the first manager to win all 3 major European competitions. Mourinho becomes the first manager to win all 3 major European competitions. The story can be found on the back page of the VERITAS newspaper.
Now, before we move on, are you a sports fan? Are you a football fan?
Not really.
Not really. Okay, another story here on the front page of the VERITAS newspaper. Igbenedion names Education Center in Okada after Akubezi. Igbenedion names Education Center in Okada after Akubezi. You can find that on page 26 of the VERITAS newspaper.
Here's another one on opinion poll. Bestiality: should the law enforcement agent go after those involved in sexual intercourse with a dog and the dog owners? Should the law enforcement agents go after those involved in sexual intercourse with a dog and the dog owner? This on page 10 of the VERITAS newspaper. Nicole, what do you think of this?
I think? Oh my goodness, I am so for it. I think the security operative should even arrest these people. It is a crime to have sexual intercourse with an animal, and now the trending one is a dog. All because of what? Money.
Fast money.
I really don't understand why the youth of these days are so interested in getting fast money.
And they should also know that the Nigerian constitution is against bestiality. You get humans having sexual intercourse with animals.
Well, that's outrageous.
That was not the aim, or that was not God's purpose for humans. So money, fast money doesn't just answer it all. There are other heinous, or there are other consequences that come along with this kind of
fast money
practice. So please, let's not buy into this one. Though there are different opinions on this bestiality, so you can read more on it on page 10 of the VERITAS newspaper.
But well, like Gloria rightly said, it's an opinion poll, and you can find that on page 10 of the VERITAS newspaper. As we begin to wind down to the end of the alerts, we are moving to page 11 to review the editorial right here. Okay, so on the editorial for June 2022 edition of the VERITAS newspaper, justice must be served in Deborah's killing. Justice must be served in Deborah's killing. So now, in taking impunity to the highest level, some students of the Shehu Shagari College of Education in Sokoto State recently lynched one of their colleagues, Deborah Samuel, and burnt her remains in broad daylight. They did not stop at that. They made a video of this most inhuman and horrific act of savagery, dancing and rejoicing in a dramatic, heart-wrenching, barbaric manner. When I saw the video clips and pictures from the parents of Deborah, who have even gone out to say that they do not think they would want to send any of their children to school after finding out what happened to their dear daughter, their hearts are broken.
It's sad.
Well, our sympathy goes out to the families as well. It has been via alert, but as usual, we cannot leave you without letting you know that you can place an advert on the VERITAS newspaper. Yes, if you have any business at all that you would like to advertise, run down to number 34 Airport Road, Benin City. That's our head office, and come talk to us. We'll give you a very good deal, and your business can be well known around Benin City. For advert placements, for a change of names, announcements, ceremonies, what are you celebrating? Call us up now on
07043873298. 07043873298.
Or you can call us on 08061255024. 08061255024.
You can also live stream your various events such as wedding celebration, wedding anniversary, birthdays, burial ceremonies, and so on our social media platform. You can also follow us on our Facebook handle, VERITAS Communication Benin, VERITAS Communication Benin, on our YouTube channel, Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City Communication, Catholic Archdiocese of Benin City Communications.
And it's a wrap on V Alert for June 2022 edition. Do not forget, please support the work of evangelization through the Catholic media. I think I need to repeat that. Please support the work of evangelization through the Catholic media. Join us again next month for another amazing edition of V Alert, where we get to review the VERITAS newspaper. My name is Ume Obianuju Nicole.
And I'm Gloria Aigbefo. Bye for now.